Samudra, so we can just turn it in.
I think now I can share my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, check. I think.
Yeah.
Can you see any?
Sure.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody, enjoy a session. Samudra, stage is yours. Enjoy.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. So, yeah, today I will give like 10 minutes, 12 minutes talk regarding leveraging dynamic M-query parameters in Power Query to enable multi-select functionality. So, this is purely based on Power Query and Power BI Desktop. Yeah, before starting my session, so I'm Samudra and currently I'm based in Germany and currently I'm working as a data engineer at OH22 Information Services. And here I have mentioned my Twitter and LinkedIn and yeah, so I really like to do some data stuff. Okay, so before starting enable multi-select functionality, I would like to describe about what is dynamic M-query parameters. So actually this feature allows users to change the value of query parameters within the report or data set, and then the report or data set update automatically. And it's a really great flexible feature, and it has it has interactivity with reports, and we can dynamically set values using filters and slices. And actually it gives more control over to users, and for me I think it's a great functionality, and end users have more power using this functionality. So let me describe how this dynamic M-query works. First, here you can see we have the user, and we can have filters, and user can input whatever the values. User can select whatever the slicer values, and then those slicer values we are setting to the parameters, and based on the parameters, we can pass whatever the query to the data set database, and we can take the whatever the results into the report. And so then how dynamic M-query works. So first we have to create whatever the parameters. It could be one or more parameters, and we are creating those using Power Query. And the second part is we have to use those parameters in Power Query. So I have one demo file and the Power BI desktop file, and I will explain what is there and how we can set these parameters inside Power Query. And then we have to create some slicer tables inside the Power BI desktop, and then we are binding these slicer tables with these parameters. And then after that, when we are enable this, when we want to enable this multi-select functionality, there is option, and we can enable that function as well. So here I have my Power BI file here. So I'm going to open the Power Query. So here I have two tables: sales or order header and sales territory. And here I have three parameters: so start date, end date, and sales territory. So today I'm going to show how we can enable multi-select functionality in sales territory parameter. So for the sales territory, so here you can see the default value is Northwest. And I'm going to, I have M-query code. So if I select this sales order header, and I'm going to go to the advanced editor, and then here I can show you Yeah, so this is the code. So if you want to enable multi-select functionality, that means from the reporting side, user can select one or more or all the list of values from the filter. So then there could be two conditions. The one is the user can select multi values or single values. So here you can see I have one variable called selected territories, and here I'm just checking user select multiple values or all values. So I'm just checking here that values if those values are a list. So then so if it's a list, I have two conditions. So if it's a list, there can user can be select all values, or user can select two or more values. So then if it's if user select all, so then I don't want to pass any values because it's like select all. And if user select two or more values, so here you can see so I'm using this text.combine function, and so I'm just creating a string, and then I'm passing this string to in operator in SQL statement. So it's like, so I have a single quote here, and then assume that I have like three values. So then I'm just separating those three values by adding single quote comma single quote, and then I'm just at the end I am adding another single quote. So if you see here, you can see I have put some examples. So here single quote for the end, start and the end, and I'm just separating whatever the values, user selected values using single quote comma single quote. Or else, so we check two conditions here. So one is select all, and so the second one is user can select two or more values. So then third one is user can select only one value there. So I'm then the condition should be a single quote, and then whatever the user selected value, and again a single quote. So that is for the this is how we can change our M code with multi-select scenarios. And then here I have my SQL statement. So basically I have a select statement, and then I'm taking data from sales order header, and I'm joining it with sales territory because I want to take some data based on the sales territory. And then so I have so I'm just combining these two values, and then I have another two parameters called start date and end date. So this is for those dates, so I will just take whatever the date from there. And then so I have another variable called a sales territory filter. So it has whatever the selected value from here. And then here I'm checking some conditions like, so if selected territory is greater than 0, that means it has some selected values. Then I am passing those values to my SQL statement here. And then if it's equals 0, then I'm not passing anything because 0 means it doesn't use a select all values. So then I'm combining these filter query and sales territory filters, and then I'm just passing whatever the values to the backend. So this is the code, and then in order to enable, okay, close this one. So in order to enable this function, so first thing is, so now we now we have parameters, and we have this, we set parameters in mQuery code, and then what we can do is we have to create a slicer tables. So here you can see I use DAX code, and I created some I created some slicer values here. So if you go here, and if I click here, so here you can say you can see now I have sales territory names there. And in order to enable the multi-select values, So what you have to do is, so here you have to select slice a table, and if you select this column, slice the values, and you have to go to the option properties and go to the advanced, and there here you can select there's option called bind parameters. So we have already we created this sales territory, and I already set it, and you have to enable this multi select and select all option. And here I change this as all, and in my M code, so I set the value all there inside my Power Query. And then, so here you can see if I open this one, and yeah, so I just create one filter there, and then so I just use this one here. And so if I want to select whatever the data is, like if I want to Australia and Canada, so it will take whatever the value for Australia and Canada, and here you can see it always asking these values, like it's like it's go directly go to the database. So that means user can have some access to manipulate data in the database. So this is the query, and if I run here, so based on the query you will take the data. And so if you want to disable that option, this message option, so you have to go to the options there, and there under the global you have to go to security, and you can just disable this feature here, and then you will not get that message directly. And the other option, other thing I have to show is so other thing I have to show is okay. So you already saw that message, this potential risk message. So in order to mitigate this security risk, so we have to avoid string concatenation, and what we in order to mitigate this risk, we have to use M operations, and then we can mitigate this vulnerability issue from there. So then I think yeah, I took only 11 minutes, I guess. And yeah, thank you very much for the organizers, and yeah, thanks for selecting me as a speaker as well. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Samudra, as well. If you have any questions, you can post them to our YouTube chat. If not, Samudra, it was a real pleasure to host you and to have you with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity as well, and thanks for the sponsors.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and have a nice weekend.